What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video. In this one, we have our last draft analysis for the Patriots 2021 draft class. So if you guys haven't checked out all the other videos, make sure to do that after this video. I mean, I made analysis videos on each and every single one of the Patriots selections, just like I do every year. So if you guys want to check them out, it would mean the world to me. But without further ado, y'all wanted a wide receiver. Y'all were clamping for a wide receiver since literally the first round, which I don't necessarily the first round. But man, y'all have been going off in the comments about wanting a wide receiver. Belichick finally gives it to you guys, but he's going to give it to you in the 7th round. So in the 7th round, with pick 242 overall, the Patriots select wide receiver Tre Nixon out of Central Florida. And I can't say that this is a guy that I had on my board, but now that the Patriots selected him and I'm doing my research, he's a guy that in the 7th round is a good pickup for the Patriots. Is he going to be your number one receiver? No. Is he going to be your number two? Likely not. We'll just have to see how he develops. I think that if the Patriots didn't select him here, he would have been somebody that likely was to hit undrafted free agency, but teams have been already signing a lot of UDFAs, and the Patriots, at least as of right now, which is 9:50 p.m., they have not signed any UDFAs. And of course, a lot of times you got to compete for UDFAs and give them more money, so that by doing this, like Evan Lazard pointed out, the Patriots kind of using the 7th round pick on him could potentially save them money. Like I always say, within the 6th and especially the 7th round, you're taking a flyer on a guy. You're taking a chance on a guy and hoping that you can get something out of him and that he can be at least average for you. But Nixon is a guy who I would say is a little bit small weight-wise. He would love if he could add maybe a little bit more muscle to himself, but still not terrible. He is actually 6 foot, believe it or not. He looks like he's I would say 5'10", 5'9", but he is 6 foot according to his draft profile and 187 pounds. That 40-yard dash was projected to be about a 4.43 for him, so he does bring speed here for the Patriots, but it isn't going to be anything blazing. You know, this is not going to be a Damiere Byrd, Brandon Cooks, Tyreek Hill. But if you're somebody who wanted a stretch the field, vertical threat, speedster receiver, well, you got it. Now, I've seen everybody freaking out about this selection because of his NFL comparison. So for those who don't know, his NFL comparison is Robbie Anderson. We're very familiar with him, former Jet and current Panther. Very, very, very good wide receiver. And while I definitely do see the comparison, I do see the intangibles, guys. A comparison is to kind of help point out the playing style of a player. An NFL comparison is not, hey, he's going to turn into this guy. And I think that's what too many people are expecting. While I definitely think he has the ability, and it is a very good selection for the Patriots in the 7th round, he was still a 7th round selection, so let's tame our expectations until we see ultimately how he plays. You know, I don't think anybody should be expecting, Nixon to turn into a Robbie Anderson. Like I said, I definitely see the similarities, and I do agree with the comparison, but there definitely is some differences too. I mean, the 40-yard dash for Robbie Anderson was about a 4.36. But like I said earlier, he's going to be someone who stretches the field for the Patriots, and he is your downfield threat. Now, he's someone that can play in the slot, or he's someone that can play on the outside. So I really, really love the addition of that versatility because, I mean, honestly, you can make a case for either or. You can make a case that the Patriots needed a slot receiver, and you can make the case that the Patriots needed a guy on the outside. And his numbers showed the fact that he is someone who's a downfield threat, someone that moves the change, and somebody that stretches the field. He was averaging 13.7 yards per reception in 2020, 16.9 yards per reception in 2019, and 14.1 in 2018. Now, he was with Ole Miss in 2017. He moved to UCF from 2018 to 2020, but that 2017 freshman year at Ole Miss, he was averaging 19 yards per attempt. But I mean, he also only had one reception. So, but this past year, he was able to appear in 4 games in which he had 19 receptions for 260 yards. Like I mentioned, 13.7 yards per reception and 2 touchdowns. 2019, he appeared in 12 games, 49 receptions, 830 yards. Like I said, 16.9 yards per reception with 7 touchdowns. And in 2018, 11 games, 40 receptions, 562 yards, 14.1 yards average, like I mentioned, and 4 touchdowns. He's somebody that is going to bring NFL speed, so I think that's going to translate to the NFL very well. He apparently has soft hands too, which, I kind of had some concerns with, okay, how's he going to be as a catcher? Is it going to be one of those things where he struggles with drops? And it doesn't sound like that is the issue. He gets off defenders at the line of scrimmage, has good hands, again, brings that NFL speed. The big knock on him is that he's not a physical guy. Now, they do say that he is physical enough to make catches while well covered, but the question is going to be, at the next level with NFL competition, is he going to get pushed around too much? They say that the ball just seems to find his hands no matter what the circumstances are, and the big knock on him again is going to be that size. Now, although he is listed at 6 foot, about 87 pounds, I believe I said, he does clearly still seem a little bit small. You'd like him to bulk up a little bit. Now, according to the NFL.com, their report on him, they actually had him as a 5th round draft projection. So this actually could be another steal for the Patriots. If he really is a 5th round projection and the team is getting him towards the end of the 7th round, that's good value. I don't think that he's really going to be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. I think at best he's a wide receiver 2, but I think he'll fit really nicely in as maybe a wide receiver 3. I also really liked that he knows when to work back to his quarterback. When the QB is under pressure, when he clearly isn't getting open and isn't getting the separation that is desired for him to be open for, the QB to throw to, he knows when to come back in order to make a play for his QB. Now, he's somebody who is going to have to definitely shine and produce very well in order to make the roster. And he's somebody who, quite honestly, he's not going to be able to come in and play around at all this offseason. Day 1 coming in, they're starting to train with the Patriots. He needs to start flashing because the Patriots don't have a lot of room for their roster this year. Even before the draft, most of their players were starters, so this 53-man roster cutdown is going to be very, very tough for the Pats. In maybe other years where they weren't so stacked, he could have been a potential roster lock just because he was drafted, but I think this year is going to be different, and he is going to have to showcase that he can make a difference and at least be a good depth piece for the Patriots as a wide receiver in order to make the roster, especially because I think the best thing that could have made him make this roster would be if he at least added value on special teams, but he has no experience on special teams. Now, some of the weaknesses that the NFL Network says about him is that shoulder injury did take him out of action for most of last fall, so he is coming off of a bit of an injury. He is also somebody that you are concerned about those hands, and that is something that was concerning me a little bit also, especially with these smaller guys, is how consistent can they be with his hands. Although he does get open and he does have soft hands, kind of that consistency with his hands is what is a little bit more concerning for at least the quarterback. He also has a little bit of issues when it comes to ball tracking. That is inconsistent. And he also has trouble batting against size when it comes to deep balls. So if there is a decent size defensive back on him and it's a deep ball, he's going to definitely have to upgrade that, especially when he's transitioning to the next level in the NFL, because guys have an excellent mix of not just size, but also athleticism. I definitely really like the potential here of Tre Nixon. You didn't just get your classic short area quickness wide receiver who just really makes great cuts and is a good route runner. You're getting somebody who has that short area quickness, but also has long distance quickness, and could potentially be a downfield threat for the Patriots. You have Nelson Agholor signed on a 2-year deal, which is great, but imagine if Tre Nixon does work out for the Patriots, and you can have Nelson Agholor on one side and Tre Nixon on the other. In the end, what is the biggest threat in the NFL skill-wise? It's speed. Doesn't matter what position you're at, if you have speed, speed kills. Before we end this video off, though, I do want to talk about the sponsors of this video real quick, betonline.ag. Now, BetOnline has the fastest and the easiest ways to bet on all of your sports action. Football might be over, but NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are a full swing. BetOnline even covers awards, TV shows, and reality TV with real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. BetOnline also has you covered for all of the news, scores, and odds, and it's the best way to place your bets, and it's completely free to sign up. All you guys got to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Get in with the action, and don't forget to use that promo code CLNS50 for a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Guys, that is your 2021 NFL draft class. I've covered each and every single one of these guys if you do want to check them out. Like I said earlier, I really do appreciate all of you who participated in just the draft process throughout the last couple of months. It means a lot to me, and I'm super excited for what next year has to hold for us. What are your guys' thoughts on Tre Nixon? What are your guys' thoughts on this draft class? Let me know in the comment section below, along with liking this video. Helps me out tremendously, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already for all of your New England Patriots news. Like always, though, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.